Good morning. I am Eli Juicy Jones, and this is Orbital Vaping Headquarters, Juicy Jones HQ, and this show is Vaping Dawn to Dusk. It's our interview show. Grab a cup of coffee, get your vape, because today we have our friend Josh C., one of our oldest friends in vaping. He's going to come hang out and talk to us, so check it out. Vaping Dawn to Dusk. Vaping Dawn to Dusk. There he is, my friend Josh. How are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm sorry that took like a second. I couldn't figure out what button to click on as we were doing the thing. Hey, everybody in chat. All of you guys, good morning. I hope you're having a nice morning. How are you doing, Josh?
I'm good. How are you?
Asleep. I think I asked you how you were doing twice.
It's all good.
I'm doing fine. I hope all of y'all out there are doing well. Everybody out there in Orbital Vaping Headquarters who hopefully have some coffee and tea. You don't have any coffee this morning, do you?
I do not. I have cranberry juice today.
Whatever, man. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to squeeze my tea bag.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
That's awesome. It's so nice to see you. It's so nice to see everybody who woke up and joined us this morning. This is our vaping show on Saturdays. We get up, we vape, we hang out with friends, we get people's vapor story and find out how they quit smoking, and we relate to people and talk to you guys and hang out. And we try to send the message to smokers, people who are quitting smoking, and people who just started vaping, and even just other vapors affirm each other and remind everybody that it's hard to quit smoking, and everyone has a tough time, right?
Yep.
So
Definitely.
it's great. Good morning to everybody. Wow. Okay, the chat has gone crazy, and I'm so sorry. There's just everybody. Hey, Chili Dog. Good morning, sir. Michaela and Robert and Christopher and Jay and Alex and Cliff. And I just can't see everybody. So you guys, I hope you're having a great morning. We are. Tell us what you're vaping on and where you're at in chat. If you're tuning in on the replay, good morning to you or good evening, wherever you are. And just chime in down in the chat anyway. Josh, what are you vaping on, buddy?
Oh, Lord. I have a wide assortment of stuff, but what I'm usually vaping on is my RX 2/3 with the TFE 12, not matching at all, with some Animal Unleashed Thrasher. It's probably like one of my favorite new juices there.
Which flavor
And
is Thrasher, by the way? Just remind me.
it's the peach gummy rings, I think, something like that.
Right.
It's really good stuff. And my Limitless Pulse. This is like by far my new favorite thing. I don't leave the house without it. It goes everywhere with me. And it's got some stuff called Ice by Vape Dudes.
Nice.
And probably the best menthol I've ever had. I was a menthol smoker, and that does it for me right there.
That's
I like
good.
it. Yep.
That's cool. You mentioned two things that are good, that are on the rise, that used to be popular, and that is mouth to lung vaping,
Yeah.
which used to be the thing, and we've reached. In fact, having the TFE 12 and the mouth to lung vape at the same time, sort of says the story that we've gotten to hear it. It's enough, and now people are
Yeah.
starting to go back to flavor. And
Yeah.
I know, and here's the answer. Here's the reason why you take that pulse out with you every day. The same reason why I take the Nautilus 2 or this little vape fly Nicholas, and that is because it's satisfying.
Exactly.
You put higher nic in it, and you vape on it,
Exactly.
and it's satisfying, and it's also
That
small and lasts
throat hit,
forever.
though.
Yeah, yeah, right. Well, that's awesome. I'm vaping on something similar. I'm vaping on my Vapefly Nicholas, my new little mount to lung tank that Heaven Gift sent me to review, and I dig this thing a lot. It's got a groovy little adjustment on it to where you can actually dial in you can combine these 5 air holes, and then there's one air hole on the back you can dial in to get each one of them individually. So it's cool, but it tastes really good, and it's got the same kind of thing the Nautilus 2 is. And of course, this Captain tank by iJoy and the Captain Mod. The Captain Mod is my new favorite thing. I'm not a huge fan of this tank. It's that kind that like burns your tongue. Like as soon as you vape on it, the end of your tongue goes numb, and you only get flavor in
Yeah.
your nose.
Yeah.
And it's also too airy. Like even when I turn the air down, I feel like it's too airy. Although the flavor's okay. The TFV series is better, I think.
That's just ever since I found the TFV series. Like I never really gave Smart much of a chance back in the day.
Yeah.
But the TF series, like the V8s, the V12, the Big Baby, not the Baby. I'm not a fan of it. But those up are probably my favorite tanks. And until something better than the TFV 8 or 12 comes out, I'll be vaping those probably for the rest of my vaping time.
I hear from our friend Miss Steamer on Instagram that the best one right now, in her opinion, she told me to check out the Sense system, which I'm going to do, the Blazer system. She said
Yes,
the
Sense
clips are
Blazer
good.
Pro. That's my next purchase. I'm curious about that.
I wonder why
I
no one sent me one of those.
oh, I wish they sent me one of them.
People are chiming in the audience, and that's so great. There's Ed Tucker, Alex, All Day Vapes, Cliff, James, the Foxhound, everyone's saying hi and saying what they're vaping on. SoCal RX200 with the big baby beast. And, Josh and I were just talking about how the big baby is our sweet spot in that TFE series. Don't you think? Right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I really love the TFE8 big baby. The thing about the big baby is it's got less mass. It doesn't have as much junk in it. It's like, and it is delicious and it has every feature that the big one has, and
Yeah.
except for a big deck.
Yeah.
It has merely a big deck, not a huge deck. And the TFE12 has an enormous deck, I think it's fair to say. So, before we go any further, though, I want to make sure that everybody gets your vapor story. You guys know in the audience there that Vaping Dawn to Dusk is about relating to people who are quitting smoking and who are vaping. And I always like when people tell us, how they quit smoking and all that stuff.
Hell yeah.
Did somebody say something cool in chat that I missed?
I
Was blabbing?
noticed WTF Network is in chat. I had to say hi
Cool.
to him.
So.
Oh yeah. So my vaping story.
Yeah. So you were a smoker,
Oh
and
yeah.
I know that I have a million questions for you. Like, I'd like to know, where do you live and what do you do for a living? And I know that you have children,
Yep.
and that you're a father.
Yep.
And you live in the same place that my whole family lives down there. And well, my family lives in northern Texas and Oklahoma. And also.
It's close.
Yeah. And you were a smoker
Yeah.
and everything.
Say what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
Yeah, you were a smoker.
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, I tried my first cigarette whenever I was about 10 years old. A friend of mine that I remember we were playing outside, and he had these bushes that kind of went over his fence, and you could crawl in between them. So we made a fort back there, and he pulls out this thing, and I said, "What's that?" He said, "It's a cigarette." So that's the first time I ever tried one. Hated it. Coughed my guts up. It was disgusting. But then a few years later, I became a regular smoker. Like carrying a pack at like 13. I'd have a pack of cigarettes on me.
Yikes.
So yeah, it got bad.
Yeah.
But I tried quitting off and on in my 20s. Never really worked. And I got asthma. It just kind of flared up, and so that was
Yeah.
fun trying to be a smoker and have asthma. And I was going through stupid amounts of money on doctor visits and inhalers, and it was horrible. And then my wife, whenever I met her, she said that the one thing she didn't like about me was that I was a smoker. She said
Bummer.
that the man she was going to marry, I fit the bill for everything else except I smoked. So I think like 2 days before we got married, I went to a shop that was in another town. I had just heard about vaping, didn't know anything about it. Went and got a little pen, some little pen mod. It was cheap, and I loved it. I thought it was the greatest thing ever. It was so cool.
The
It tasted
Goldilocks
good.
one.
Oh yeah, I had like a Mountain Dew flavor, and it was amazing. And then it got to the point where it's like that wasn't, helping my cravings anymore. Like I wanted a cigarette, not Mountain Dew or whatever, fruity flavor they had.
And those were not, they weren't satisfying. I mean, they
No,
they
no,
had
no.
kind of a gnarly, spicy, shitty nicotine taste, and
Yeah.
but they didn't vaporize the liquid well enough, and you had to buy something really expensive to get a decent mouth to lung hit that's like a cigarette of those.
Yeah. Yeah. So I
So you
quit
tried.
off and on. Oh yeah, I did. I tried. I think I quit smoking for a good year, or almost a year, and then I just broke down at a friend of mine's wedding one day, and somebody offered me a cigarette, and I started smoking. So I stopped vaping and picked up smoking again, and I think I smoked for about a couple months and tried to go back to vaping and I just couldn't get back into it. And then we got a shop here. Well, we already had by that time we already had a couple of shops, but they were just selling the little pin mods, and
Right.
I knew I didn't like that stuff. Well, then we got this new shop called the Vapor Artisan in, and I was going to actually to the grocery store, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna stop by. I'm just gonna look, see what they got. Went in,
Good
talked to this.
idea.
Yeah, I went in.
Life-changing moment.
Oh, definitely. I met one of my to this day best friends. This guy, I couldn't imagine not having this guy in my life. He's a good dude.
Shout him out. What's his name?
His name's Chad Kane. He's the owner of the Vapor Artisan.
What's
These
up,
guys.
Chad? Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's actually where what the TVA in my name is the Vapor Artisan. I told him that he is my official unofficial sponsor.
Good. That was one of my questions for later. Good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. The Vapor Artisan, because everyone else, it's TVA. Okay, good, man.
Yeah. But I went in and just super awesome guy. I mean, all of them. John, Chad's wife Stephanie, they all work there. They're just awesome people. And they hooked me up with a was it Joytech, the VTC Mini, and that just changed everything for me. I didn't want a cigarette anymore.
Yeah.
I got that satisfying, amount of vapor that I was trying to get, and just the throat hits. And
did you get the kit?
Yeah, I got the kit, which I immediately took the tank off and put a Crown V1 on. And
ooh,
that right there,
the Crown.
That was my go-to vape. Like, that was it for about a good year and a half almost. Was just that.
Wow. And it's funny because it was actually more the old mouth to lung stuff didn't work for you.
Right.
You sort of went right to Sobone vaping.
Oh yeah.
Except that now you're digging back that pulse and others, like now you're realizing that good mouth to lung is actually quite excellent, and
yeah.
Economical on the juice, really tasty, satisfying, good in the movie theater, good in the bathroom at work, just good everywhere.
I bought this bottle probably, I don't know, 3-4 months ago. And I don't know if you can see how much is in there, but that's how much I vaped out of it just from using the pulse and my little, here it is. The little, Vaporesso Aurora guy. And
that cool little Zippo mod.
I love it. I love it so much.
I love I wouldn't be able to survive without a Nautilus 2 or this little Vapefly Nicholas or something, one of the, because I like 0.6 to 0.9 mouth to lung vaping at about 20 watts. I really love that on these replaceable coils, and I just put 3 to 6 nick in these things and I put it in my pocket. So to me that's my go-to satisfier, because I have to go through so much stuff. Vape, and man, right now I'm using this Mountain Oak Vapors, the Harvey, and this is my all-day vape most of the day. I vape Van Gogh vapes, and I vape this Mountain Oak Vapors and some AZ Swag Sauce most of the time. And those three people are, by the way, go buy all those people, y'all. Those are my favorite juice companies, and that's the answer to your question. Those three companies are my favorite ones, and they cover all the price ranges, nicotine styles, everything. There's something for everyone in those three companies. But without these little mount to lung tanks, I'd be stuck with my TF. I mean, I wouldn't be stuck, but I would be vaping on the TFE8 or whatever all day long. And first of all, it isn't economical, and second of all, it isn't exactly safe. We don't know that it's good or bad. We don't know it's good for you or how bad it is for you to go through so much freaking juice. You know how much juice?
Oh yeah.
I mean, how much juice does that TFE12 go through?
Well, let's say
it's shocking to me.
I've killed the 60 mil in almost it's been at least 2 or 3 days. I mean, granted, easily. I could easily kill one way quicker than that on like my Buddha or a dripper, but I mean, it is a juice. I mean, it sucks up the juice.
The experience on the Goon or the Buddha is just going to be better. It's going to taste better, in my opinion. Yeah. So you kicked cigarettes. So how long did you smoke, and how long has it been since you quit smoking? Just to get an idea of how much time we're talking about.
I smoked for, I think the last time I figured it up here recently, it was 21 years I smoked.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I did too. I smoked for like almost 30 years, so I understand.
Yeah. And I've been, let's see. Now I can't lie. Every now and then, if I'm at work, that's the hardest part, is at work.
Yeah.
I have had a cigarette here and there. but I haven't bought a pack of cigarettes in 4 years now.
Right
And
on.
I think going from, and to me, I'm one of those guys that if you still smoke and vape, I don't judge. I don't, as long as you're trying, because I went from a pack and a half, 2 packs a day to I might smoke 2 cigarettes a week. Maybe, maybe that's if I get a cigarette. Most time I don't.
You need
But
to get a some six or something for a special pen, like
yeah,
haha.
yeah. Well, that's what this guy has helped out a lot because
Uh,
I use 12 milligram in it, which I actually want to go up to something a little higher. I want to see if that would help because I still every now and then, everybody I work with smokes, and that's the hard thing.
yep.
Everybody I work with smokes. I have a few friends that I have converted personally to vaping. I've got I work to answer another question. I work with the developmentally disabled, and what I do is I'm a house manager for a group of guys. There's 4 guys in my house, and I kind of just help them get to work, get to doctor's appointments, teach. Basically, I'm teaching them how to live on their own. Is
Dude,
pretty
that
much
is
all
so
I do.
amazing.
Well, I've been doing this for about 10 years now, and actually 12. Sorry, there's another place I worked at, but
Hmm.
since I started vaping, I have probably converted maybe 7 or 8 of them of my clients to vaping who were heavy smokers. I mean, if you give them their carton, they could probably smoke the whole thing in a couple of days. Like they just chain smoke. And to see somebody who goes from like 2 packs a day to they don't even smoke anymore, they just vape, that's it, like that is the most satisfying thing to me. So I have a few friends that have switched. Some went back, some stayed. But as I always say, as long as you're trying, I mean that's all that matters. I mean, if you go from smoking a pack and a half, 2 packs a day to maybe a cigarette every other day or a week or whatever, I think that's a great accomplishment,
Yeah, I
honestly.
mean every cigarette you smoke is 1,000 times worse than vaping for a while. So just the trick is it doesn't matter. And this is a great lesson, and we're going to get back to what an amazing job you are and how fucking cool you are in just a minute, and how awesome that is. Because I don't want to discount that, but there's a lesson for you guys. It's true. Don't judge. Unless you're just mocking vaping. If you're trying to
Yeah,
quit, you're trying to quit, and every cigarette you don't smoke is better. The
yeah,
the best thing to do to make yourself successful is if you're smoking cigarettes, forget about why you think you're doing it. If you find yourself actually smoking a cigarette, ignore your psychology for a second and trust me, it's because you don't have enough nicotine in your vape. So what he just said is it. He went out and reached out, didn't judge himself, reached out and found a vape that has higher nic, and he uses that, and now he's smoking fewer cigarettes. You see how this works, and as you go as a vapor, you have to get to a point where you're comfortable not smoking, and so raise and lower that nicotine level as you
hmm
need. Don't worry about going and getting a little higher, lower carry too. Go ahead. Those little pulse things are cool, and these little atomizers only cost a little bit, and you can change juice, throw it away, buy more juice. But do whatever you have to do to set yourself up. And if you find yourself on cigarettes, it's because you aren't getting enough nic. Now,
yeah.
later you might go down. You probably will.
Oh yeah,
Good.
yeah.
What do you normally vape on? What
Uh,
strength?
Normally, like out of my the big tanks, it's 3 milligram. If I'm using a dripper, I do 3, but I kind of like the 1.5 a lot, nicotine for dripping. Um,
3 in one of those Smock TFE 12s makes me sick fast.
really, that's my
Real
comfort.
fast.
Yeah, I like the 3. I tried vaping 1.5 out of it, and it just doesn't seem to do anything for me. So 3 is where I get. If I go 6, I can do 6 for a little bit, and then it starts making me sick to my stomach.
So, oh yeah, totally.
Yeah,
So, also, you're a father, and I just want to say for all the fathers out there, Happy Father's Day tomorrow. Tomorrow's Father's Day, and I apologize because sometimes I forget. My father's been dead and a deadbeat for a long time. But you have kids, I know, and that's awesome. I just want to mention that job is awesome, and it's so awesome that you help people, you
thank
know,
you.
work in the world and be normal. And one of the things I think our country is missing is compassion. And the concept, and this is something I grew up with, is the
Yeah,
concept that we have a responsibility to help people who need it, not anarchy where it's everyone only for themselves.
yeah.
It's yeah, let's help people. So that's really cool, man. I can't. That's really awesome.
Thank you.
So how? So the people that you're helping out, do they end up being on their own later? Do they go and sally out to the world and go on their own, and you have a tearful hug and go, "Wow, dude," something like that?
I have had a couple occasions. It's sad to say that that's our goal. That's the goal, is
Yeah.
to teach them, and then we have another level that they go to from, like, I work at a alternative group home, is what my house is called, and then there's a DLS home, which is less restrictive, more based on their work. Like, they pay the bills, they buy the groceries, but there's still staff. There's still people there to help them.
Like assisted
And
living.
yeah, yeah. And then the goal for that, for after that, is basically try to be on your own. I and it's sad that um honestly, a lot of my guys that live with us, they're probably never going to be on their own, and a lot of them know it, and they don't care. They're cool with that. They'll stick with us for the rest of their lives, and they're okay with that.
I'm glad they have
Um,
you.
but oh, dude, I'll tell you what. I worked so many different jobs. I started in this field whenever I was 23, I think, and before that, I worked for like online support, and I worked you know, manual labor and like construction stuff, and it was cool. I mean, I like physical work, but honestly,
Yeah, you
once
couldn't
I
really do it very much because you're kind of little and skinny.
oh yeah, yeah, I'm a tiny guy.
Just kidding. Go on.
But actually, my grandmother, God rest her soul, she was working for a company here, not the one I'm working at now, but the one I started with, and she was just about to retire, and I had lost my job, and she said, you know, you should come check it out and see if you like it, and if you do, it's, you know, it's a fun job. And I'm like, oh God, I don't know if I'm that kind of person that can do that. And to be honest, it is the probably the most satisfying job I've ever worked at. To see, to, you know, people are like, oh, I help them over the phone, or I help them build something. I see every day the things I do to help these guys. Like,
Yeah.
if they can go, just a stupid thing, but like make their own lunch to take to work, and or get up on their own to be ready and get ready for work. To my guys now, they do all that by themselves, and it's like, you know what? I, with the help of some great staff I have, um, we did that. That was us, you know. So
That is
yeah, I mean,
cool. We're missing
it's satisfying.
compassion.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I don't see why. The real reason is that America is reorganized right now around only profit, and it wasn't that way
Yeah.
when I was a child. And like what you do, for example, is something that makes you happy for doing something helpful,
Yeah, because
and
I am not getting rich in this field. I'll tell you that right now.
right. But the thing is, the way the country's organized around profit only, you're not getting rich there either because
Exactly.
it's physically impossible because they've taken all that money away. I liked it better the other way, where we recognize that our society has a powerful ability to have people accept the responsibility of never making lots of money and go help people for a living. And then there's a population of people that are not useless, that have a purpose in the world. They contribute camaraderie, friendship, humanity, creativity, whatever. These people have a purpose, and if they can't live on their own, I don't see any reason in the world why we shouldn't take some of these humanity record setting levels of profit and money and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and just give that money to people who want to help people who this as a society need it. And all we have to do is stop acting like money is the only thing that's important and start thinking something like happiness is important. Because everything you described to me makes me happy.
Yeah.
Like all that's,
Yeah.
I used to work for the food bank. And to this day, it's where I do all my charity. It's my thing because they helped me when I was having a hard time and I needed
Yeah.
food. And I walked up there as a man. And I felt like an idiot and said, "I need food for me and my dog. We're going to starve." And they said, "Come in. Are you kidding?" And then I got a job part time there one time, helping them because I'm an artist and I helped them to do all the thank you cards for people who sent in donations. And the whole experience made me cry all the time. Every Wednesday, they had a day that was only for women and children. So they would be lined up around the block. They had a Santa one year that I was there, and I got my picture taken with Santa. They're not, the people that work there aren't supposed to have any have any take any food, but I was really starving, and I went up to one of the guys on the floor I was friends with, and I said, "Listen, man, I'm really hungry. I and my dog. I really need some dog food and just some oatmeal or something. I'm serious." And he was like, "Are you kidding? It's okay."
Yeah.
You know, and even if they had found out and heard that story, they would have been like, "This is going to slide," because that's the kind of people they are. You don't work in a field like that, and you're an officious prick. You know, this is not it. You're there to help people.
Right.
And so that's the world I want to live in. Your world, that world.
It's fun. I'll tell you that. You get some. I have some interesting stories that I could tell. I can't really tell, but
Yeah. Well,
if I could, they're awesome. I work with some of the greatest guys, clients and staff wise. I couldn't imagine. And what's funny is I've left twice. Once to go work for a private care kid. His mom was a nurse that would come out to check out my guys, and she saw how I worked with my guys, and she just kind of hit me up one day and was like, my son, he's got all these issues. I need somebody, a one-on-one guy with him. Would you be interested? And I was like, you know what? I've never done something like that. So yeah, why not? And I left for like about 6-7 months.
Oh, that's quite a while.
Yeah. And then I've come back and, oh, he got put into a facility that was actually, like their specialty was his type of diagnosis. So it was a really good move for him. I've talked to him recently. He's doing great. I mean, the kid is, oh my God, he's such an awesome kid.
That's awesome.
I say awesome kid. He's like 22 now, but
good. Yeah. Well, as a kid does, unfortunately.
He's an awesome young man now. And I left to go do. I worked for a electrical supply company in a factory, and I'll tell you what, it's hard working with normal people again. Like I worked with these individuals for so long, and these people that I was scared, honestly. Like I was scared to go interact every day with just normal people. And well, I found out really quick that they're not a lot of people aren't normal. So
yeah, right, exactly.
It was all right.
I'm hardly normal. Hey, let's get on YouTube every week a few times. Let's do that. Oh yeah, good idea. Everyone does that, right?
Yeah.
Dude, so I really admire what you do, and I think that's wonderful. I thank you too. I'm sure that they would too. That's killer. I think anybody who does that kind of stuff, and also there's tons of favorable comments and Big Natty says that over in Cincinnati they've got a bad childhood poverty problem, and this whole country has a bad childhood poverty problem, but especially he says in Cincinnati, so that's bad. Yeah. And everybody says hearts and hi to everybody who's in the chat. By the way, it's great to see everybody. If you just tuned in, I'm Juicy Jones, and this is our friend Josh C _TVA, Josh Clark. On Instagram, and he's been watching when did you start watching the channel? It was a long time. It was a year ago, man. Probably.
Yeah, it was. Well, you hadn't hit your year mark yet, so it was about. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's a long time ago.
Last year, long time.
Back when Luke was doing this with you.
Yeah, we've been boring people for a year. That's right. For almost 2 years. In fact, the 2-year anniversary is coming up here at the end of July, since. That's great. I mean, I'm really excited about the 2-year anniversary. I guess I suppose I should think about doing something.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I don't know what. Dude, so what are you excited about? Coming up in vaping, what's going on? We can stop being so serious for everybody, but I just want to underscore to everybody that quitting smoking is hard. And it's hard for everybody, and you don't have to be some superstar who just quit smoking and can proudly say, I quit smoking. You can be like, holy fuck, this fucking sucks every minute of every day. Yeah. And, just say that. Acknowledge it. Let it be something you acknowledge right in front of you. Like, I'm having a nicotine fit. Holy shit, I'm having a nicotine fit. Once you say that, you get power over it. Yep. And you're like, I need to vape or go have a cigarette or something. And then you can quit and you can say like, I'm gonna get a kit. I'm gonna get a pulse, or I'm gonna get one of these little things, or an Aspire kit, or whatever. And then come watch our broadcast here every week, and commiserate with everybody in chat because it's hard.
Yeah. This group has been a huge help for me. I tried going on other live YouTube shows and they don't interact very well. So that's why I liked here, is because you actually talk to the chat. You interact with chat. Everybody's really nice in this chat. I've been in some chat rooms on here, and they're not very nice people. So it's always
Bullies.
nice. Yeah,
A lot of bullies. It's weird. Don't understand that.
If you don't vape a certain thing at a certain way at a certain watt, then you're not a vapor.
I think some people have a very low tolerance for other people disagreeing with them, and that isn't much of a stumbling block for me because I think there's a lot to do past that because I think I know I disagree with a lot of people about a lot of stuff, and so it's not to me it's not, it doesn't seem weird, that you're vaping on 0.08, 280 watts going and maybe I'm vaping, like, to me that's not as big to me it's about quitting smoking.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the battle with the government and the battle and the battle against the press and and the battle with the scientists trying to get their word out. So to me it's about that, and also just some camaraderie. Everybody's so nice. I love everybody in chat, and them all. This Big Natty. Hey, there's Waddell. I was just stalking Stephen Waddell's page earlier. He was on a roller coaster ride on Instagram, dripping on this teacup
awesome.
thing. It was going all around. It was a really short video, but it was really hilarious. I couldn't figure. I was impressed that I guess his girlfriend or something, that she got the video because she, obviously she was like, it was funny. So hi to you out there, and Alex, of course, is here, and everybody else, Michaela. I also have people in the audience who are moderators, and those few times that people say hating crappy crap, they just usually just delete it.
Yeah. Mr. Owen Ginter in here. I don't know where he's at.
I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing him later.
Oh yeah, he'll show up in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, or he's busy. Who knows? That's how it is in the world.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah, it is. Dude, so tell me, what are you excited about? You guys in the audience, you all tell me what you're excited about. Also, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button. Share this with your friends. Tell everybody about this. We're live every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock with this show, with the interviews. Every Wednesday at 6 o'clock in the morning on YouTube, I do reviews and live unboxings, and I call people and stuff. So what have you been looking at lately? I have a short list, and I have a stack of stuff to review.
Honestly, I haven't really been looking at a lot. I've got pretty much what I want. Besides that,
said only you ever.
That Sense Blazer Pro. I do want that, or I want to check it out. I really, really, really want an Apocalypse RDA. I don't know why. I haven't heard much about them. What I have heard is good things.
I've only heard good stuff about them. But
I really want one.
People think they're better than the Goon.
That's what I've heard, and I'm curious because I love my Goon, and I couldn't imagine not having it around all the time. So yeah, I definitely want to check that out.
You know that I actually use my Goon LP more than my Goon by a long shot.
I almost got one. I really wanted one for quite a while, and then I just oh well, I missed it. I might grab one later. I don't know.
I think it's materials for me. The reason I like it, because the Ultim cap really does make it so. I mean, it vapes.
I like that cap.
Yeah, and it makes it so you can't see this, unfortunately, but the audience can. And the Ultim cap makes it so that you can vape the hottest possible crap on this. This is like a 5-wrap, 1, 2, 3, 4-wrap triple core 28, and it's got a 32 wrapper on an Alien from Watofo, and it is good on this thing. Your mouth is right next to it. And you only have to vape it on half airflow at 80 watts. It isn't, or 90 watts, maybe 100. It doesn't have to go crazy. I used this particular build for a battery test at about 99.9 watts because I think it looks cool on the display, and which I think is valid. And I get really good battery life with this Captain mod.
Oh yeah, that's another mod that I've been interested in. I've also been kind of interested in going back to like DNA mods. I had the Project Subohm S200 was actually one of the first.
Yeah, I remember those very well.
It was that black mod with the blue buttons on it. Love that thing. Yep. It's probably my favorite mod.
Piping? Or no, it just had kind of a layered look to it, kind of a sci-fi anime kind of look. Yeah, I like that mod, man.
Yeah, this guy right here, I still use it. It's my Screaming Tree mod, the 007 V2. It was the first giveaway I ever won, and I won a mod. Not a tank. The tank's the V-God Trick Tank, which honestly, I love this tank a lot. But
big air super sub-ohm type tank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Clearamizer or RTA?
Clearamizer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's cool. Chili Dog says he'd like to get one of those Zippo mods. He's excited about that. So I'll be
Oh,
asking
those
about
things
that.
they're
That's cool.
amazing. Hold on, let me get that sucker
Yeah.
out.
Stephen Waddell's asking about the Captain mod. That's what I was going to say. Is that the thing I've been the most excited about in the universe is the Captain mod. Did you guys see the crazy video that I did for the Captain mod? Should I show everyone that?
That was all. Yeah, that was. That
I
video was
can
awesome.
broadcast that video. You know.
You should do that.
Is it too much? Almost 100% chance. I'll try to find it here. But the Captain mod is the thing for me. And I use this 100-watt thing to test the batteries. I can tell you for a fact that as a vapor, do you have that feeling when you order new batteries that you wish that they lasted longer, that a new set of batteries is going to really make a difference, and you put that atomizer on there and you think that first vape is going to be different, but it's not.
Yeah.
Right? It's not. It's never different. In fact, it could be worse if they're mislabeled. Because the amperage level's bad. It's always about the amperage. Amperage, the amperage and voltage drop, and then the mAh keeps it going. But amperage, that's what it is. So you've had that feeling, right, of disappointment?
Oh yeah.
That is the opposite of how I felt with this. When I vaped on this the first day, it was obvious that it's true. They're good. Yeah. Obvious. And then when I put the batteries from Joytech in, it was obvious that the Sanyo batteries I had lasted longer. But they had similar, but the vapes the same. They just didn't last as long. And then I used 18650s, and the only difference is the thing was lighter and it didn't last nearly as long, and the vape wasn't as good. So I was really excited about that little revelation over 2 or 3 days. Like, wow, the promise is true. You know, pretty good. And it's a simple mod. It's not some. They're not trying to like give you a new way to have a touch screen interfacing with your eyeglasses. It's not like that. It's temperature control. It's bypass. It's got punch levels.
Yeah.
It's got a huge clicky button, which to me, every mod should have a huge button. I love big clicky buttons. Hey, there's All Day Vape says, I saw you say how long ago that you quit smoking All Day Vape, and I missed it. He told us that I think he just hit his year mark, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Train Sonics. Great to see you, too. So, yeah, for me, I'm only really... I don't get excited about a new super sub-ohm tank. I don't get excited about a new super RDA with a deck that has 4 posts and that you can build curlicues in the middle of. Although Instagram is going to be good for that.
Oh, yeah.
I get excited about stuff that's practical, that makes sense, that affects the average vapor's day-to-day vaping experience. And the one thing I've been excited about since I found out about them in like October or November is the 2700 battery. And there's only a few companies that have come out with 2700 compatible mods, and iJoy is the largest one so far by far. And this mod is a fucking great staple, usable, today this works all the time mod. With all the basic features that has better batteries. And I'm only going to get excited about 2700 stuff because I don't need another mod that looks like it comes from the Expanse TV show and has a new way to vape. And I don't need another perfected temperature control model. I think all of that is a solution that is hunting after a problem, and that is selling you stuff every 3 months. And I simply see right through it. So I don't fall for any of that stuff. And a lot of it is just giveaway frenzy and, the thrill of having a lot of gear and stuff coming in newness and all that. And, I get that. I'm an American.
Yeah.
But I don't focus on my channel because I just don't feel it.
Yep.
Personally. Because I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Oh, yeah. When it's like for example, the Captain mod, I'm super excited about. But the Captain Super Sub-Ohm tank? No. No, it's a fallacy that you can pick one of these things and you've picked the right thing, right?
Right.
Because that's not true. You can pick many, many things, and like my best of 2016 was a smorgasbord of the things you could have picked. Not just the thing I'm telling everyone, yeah, if you picked it wrong, you picked wrong. That's not how it is. So anyway, I'm sorry about that rant, but I get a little annoyed at some of those concepts where it's like, and I'm honest with the vendors too. They send me stuff that's just more big super sub-ohm stuff, and I don't get it.
Right.
I the people at OBS were really decent when I complained about the V tank being the first of just a new generation of just bigger tanks that are using someone else's coils. Anyway, and they heard the criticism. I told them to get back to small, and some people listen to that. How much did that pulse cost you, by the way? I'm just curious. I'm very curious about those.
You can find them. I got mine from Limitless. It was $34.95.
Is it refillable?
Oh yeah, it's got the little pod guy in there, and they come with an extra one. And I honestly, I'm not gonna act like I know everything about it. I mean, I know how to fill it. I know how to vape it. I know that this button does nothing but turn it off and on and change colors for you. It has nothing to do with anything else. But,
so it goes on air.
Yeah, but honestly, I didn't know when to change the pod out because I used the same pod actually up until about 2 days ago, and I was vaping on it, and I'm like, it doesn't taste the same. So I was like, I'm gonna bring out the new one. So I got the new one out, and yeah, so basically for me, I just vape it until it tastes different, and once it tastes different, switch them out. Good to go.
So I get it, but you don't. But do you actually fill it with like a needle or a syringe or something, or?
Syringe would probably be best. Thank God this vape dude's bottle has one of those needle nose on the top. So
that's okay.
Yeah, because basically what it is I'll use the one that's already.
That's going to be everyone's number one question because,
yeah,
as we all know, making them unrefillable. I've done the math, and price per ounce, almost all of those are terrible.
See, there's a little rubber guy right there, and you just pop that out, and then you could either take one side out and fill it up, or I just take the whole thing off, and you've got two little holes up top.
Well, that's how you should do it because air will go out one. And
yeah, exactly, exactly.
But you could lose that, I guess is your point.
Yeah, see, I'm bad about dropping things, and I don't want to lose all that.
Well, I'm definitely buying one now that I see that you can just pop that off and refill it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I like those. But, I do like the 3 milliliter tank type thing, too. It just has to be said, the 3 mil, that's only, what, a quarter of a mil, half a mil?
Oh, yeah. But honestly, though, I can fill this thing up, and I won't have to refill it for probably 4, maybe 5 days, depending on how much I use it.
And it's not your primary vape, right? It's just your pocket piece, and you vape in the bathroom, and while you're walking to the okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
This little Aurora though, I like this guy because it's got these. Oh, I just dropped it. It's got these this magnet inside of it.
Oh my God, I've taught you well, my son. That's how I run my channel, is dropping stuff.
It's got this little tank, and here's your coil right here.
That looks like a little K-Fun.
Yeah, but the coolest part for me is when you put it back in, it's magnetized, so it just clicks back in on its own, and you just pop the little.
I dig that a lot. I like the magnetized.
Yeah. So
that's simple. I like that. I'm really glad that the technology has improved enough to where some people have focused on making stuff smaller. A lot of people are coming out with these little quit kits, and I like it. And the science is not in about big exposure to vape and vaping on the TFE12 all day long. And all it does is serve people more money for you to have to go through 120 mils in 4 days.
Right.
So you can get a fantastic, satisfying vape on a million different, like for example, my favorite one is the Serpent RDTA. I am going to have to just admit here soon that the Serpent RDTA is a favorite over the freaking Avocado 22 SE. Although they're still equal, to be honest, because the Serpent isn't perfect either. It's got it whistles, and it's extremely easy to make a mess when you fill it up because the two holes, the air doesn't always perfectly escape out of one of them, and sometimes it overflows.
Right.
But anyway, having said that, those are amazing, and they're single coil, 25 watts, 35 watts. Come on.
Yeah.
And anybody can take a 26 and wrap it 7 times and put it on there because it's only got one coil. It's like it's one of the easiest things to do. So that's really the thing I get most excited about. But I must say, I just got the Cheetah 2 from OBS, and I'm pretty excited about that. I haven't put this to the ringer yet, but I've got one of these for a giveaway too, and I love the Cheetah. So did you have one of those?
I didn't. I kind of skipped it. Yeah, I kind of skipped that one. Once I got my Goon, I didn't buy any other RDAs really.
Yeah.
I use my goon, and I've got the
It's easy to keep the goon only, honestly.
yeah. Well, I've got the original Sub Zero from Subhome Innovation, the first Sub Zero tank that came out. I've
Yeah.
got it the 22 millimeter. I'm not a huge fan of 22 millimeter Addies, but I really like it a lot, so I'd like to get the bigger one.
Yeah, what I did was I like sat down and was like, I knew I was getting the Noisy Cricket 2,
Mhm.
22. And
Oh,
so,
speaking of that.
and I've had the Goon forever, or I'm sorry, I've had the Cheetah forever. Yeah, and that's my favorite thing to put 22s on.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of like my little pet, and I see you've got your thing on there. Yeah, so I love the Cheetah on this thing because it works great in the pocket. The Cheetah's not very messy at all. It's like
I've got my
great.
recoil on mine.
Why don't I own one?
I forgot. You need to get one.
I know.
This
Why
is
don't I own a
probably one of my
recoil?
Favorite drip tanks besides the Goon.
Didn't we talk about this in like January, and I just haven't done it?
So good. You need to get one.
Yeah, I don't know why I haven't done it. You're right. Of course, every time I see one, I'm like, oh yeah, duh.
Let's switch to that one real quick.
I love the Cheetah. I don't know what mode I'm in though here. It's giving me the hey dude, you need to be in a different mode. Blinking light. It's one reason I love the Noisy Cricket 2. I
Yep.
tell you, you guys that don't want a screen, if you don't want a screen, get a Noisy Cricket 2 22.
Yeah.
If you don't
Oh,
need
yeah,
a screen, it's the
definitely.
best mod you can get for the money. What is it, $30?
Yeah.
The minute I see this with a 2700 pair, it's going to be my favorite mod.
What's funny is I got my first Noisy Cricket, and then the day after I got it, I found the Noisy Cricket 2 for like $26 online. So I just immediately ordered
Very
it.
good.
Used the first one for about a couple of days, and I haven't touched it since.
I hate the Noisy Cricket one. I hate it. It's not safe, and there's no reason for it not to be safe. It was a money grab,
Yeah.
and I resent them for that.
I got mine for $5.
Yeah,
So,
it's not safe. It's so
No.
cheaply made. It should tell you something that they're able to provide those at that cost.
yeah, exactly.
Let me do a little time check and see where we're at here. We're doing really great, actually. We have plenty of time. I love all you guys that tune in. Thanks so much. I'm Juicy Jones. That's Josh C. right there. Boom. You'll notice that his Instagram name is sitting right there. And that should tell you, yeah, it's been 46 minutes, so we got plenty. We got like 15 minutes. That's Josh C right there. Find him on Instagram. Find us on Instagram at Juicy Jones HQ. You found us here. And where are we on Facebook? /groups/ Juicy Jones. Right?
Yes, sir.
And Twitter, Juicy Jones. It's great to see y'all. Here, I'll play a fancy graphic. Bing. That's us. I even have one down below. Y'all are great. Let's go back to chat and see what you guys are doing. Do you guys have questions for Josh? You guys have known Josh for a long time. He's been lurking on Instagram, but we met him on YouTube. Sometimes I go through and search, has subscribed to you on YouTube and find people, but not that much because you never know. And chat is hopping. Julie, nice to see you. Alex, Ed Tucker artist, Big Natty. Boom, Michaela. Michaela's busy. Her dogs must be sleeping or something if she's chatting so much. They must not be terrorizing her. She has the cutest dogs. And so do you, by the way. You're a pet owner, am I right?
Yep. Yep.
Little dog person.
Yeah. I've got a white boxer, and my wife recently got, I'm going to butcher the name, something like a Chinese crested something. It's supposed to be, actually, the breed is hairless. I hate hairless dogs. I can't stand them.
Mm-hmm.
And she loves them, but so she compromised with me. And this version of that breed has hair. And it is probably the cutest little thing I've ever seen.
Yep. I was going to say, I've seen it. Check out his Instagram. It is the freaking cute. It has this wiry terrier type of hair,
Yep.
but it's not a bitchy jerk. She is it a he or she? I don't even know. She's
Yep.
freaking, oh my God, she's so cute. She is the cutest dog. What's her name? And what's the boxer's name?
The boxer's name is Lily.
Lily.
And she's actually right below
Lily.
me over here. And the other one is Rosie, aka Chaka. I don't know if you've ever
Aw.
seen the Land of the Lost movie, but the guy Chaka that hangs out with him, she makes noises like him sometimes. So,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm trying to find a photo while you talk about that on your Instagram because
She's the weirdest little thing. Like, she's a, my wife sold me on her because she's like, oh, they're great little lap dogs. They're so down to earth and laid back dogs and blah blah blah. And we get her, and this thing is wiry and runs around. She beats up my poor boxer.
Oh,
Bless her heart. My boxer just gets her ass kicked every day. But she's the funniest thing. I mean, she's lucky she's so damn cute. Otherwise, I'd probably have to get rid of her because she could be pretty mean sometimes.
it's funny how one of the weirdest things about dog ownership, in my opinion, is that I'm gonna see if we can get this window. Yeah, I'll try to do this window in here. There it is. There she is.
Well, I can't see her yet.
Yeah, it's right over your face, unfortunately. Sorry.
That's all
I
good.
put her right over you. But, oh, they're
Which
so
is
cute.
usually where she tries to sit.
Yeah, both
Right
of
on
them
my
are
face.
adorable. Here, I'll get rid of it. Both of them are super adorable.
Oh yeah.
One of the weirdest things about dog ownership to me was when I went from one dog to multiple dogs or another dog, and I've learned so much about the world from dogs. I can't tell you,
Yeah.
but one of the things I learned is that you don't get to decide other people's relationships.
Right.
And this is true for people, and it's true for dogs. You learn the hard way that it doesn't matter if he was your favorite. The other one might be the boss.
Yep.
Like I've had a few dogs, but I had a combination once where the other one was dominant over my favorite dog, and I was like, oh, that doesn't work for them. It didn't work for them,
Right.
and I was like, oh, so I have to go to extra anyway. So it was weird to do. I also learned that intellect is different from emotional intelligence, and that feelings are separate than intellect. So it gave me more respect for people. It made me less judgmental of people.
Yeah.
Because I realized that people have feelings, even though I think they're stupid or whatever. It's like, oh, I understand. Like my dog
Yeah.
doesn't have anger or malice. He doesn't have those things. But he is stupid as a brick. I mean, really dumb as a sack of hammers. Really. Never any smarter than a 4-year-old. So, but I love him like my next breath. So how do I reconcile that? Well, I have more respect for people because I understand that's how people are too, obviously.
Right.
Love dogs.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine not having. Like, Lily has probably been the greatest. Like I've had dogs growing up, but my parents always had like smaller dogs, and whenever I got out on my own, I never really had a dog. I had a girlfriend that had a cat. I hated it.
Uh-oh.
But
You like boxes of shit in your house? Get a
Right?
cat.
Get a cat. Yeah, you want your house to smell like freaking urine all day?
All
Get a
day.
cat.
Oh, not all day. Forever.
Forever. Yeah.
Even
that
until the
smell's
next
not coming out.
until the next guy spends 120 grand to redo the floors and everything else.
But once we got Lily, like I get where people always talk about, oh, my fur babies or my babies or my children.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was never that guy.
You are now.
Oh, God bless. That dog is my child. I love her so much. Like she is the sweetest thing I've ever had.
That's awesome.
And I love it that she's good with kids.
That's nice. That's really
Yeah.
nice. Not all dogs are.
I've got a nephew who's I think he's 3 now, but ever since he's born, he's been around her and he crawls on her and pulls on her
Aw.
ears, and she just lays there and lets her, lets him do it.
I had
He's a
this
real
dog
sweet dog.
that he just loved young mammals. It doesn't matter what kind of mammal. He liked babies and
Right.
kids. He liked puppies. And he didn't give a crap about adult dogs, but he loved adult people and he loved baby mammals of any kind. And so he was the only dog I've ever had that I could 100% trust. He
Right.
didn't ever hurt a kid or anyone or jump or bite or anything ever once in his life, except maybe 2 times ever. And both times he had been pushed to the extreme or whatever. And that was remarkable. No other dog I've ever had has been like that, like where I could implicitly always trust him. Never. So I would just let him go among kids. And yeah, he would knock them around, but he would never hurt them. And
Yeah.
among other dogs, though, especially the older he got, he would just let puppies fucking maul him until, I mean, at one point he would go. But man, he was so cute. How he would just,
Yep.
dogs would just launch themselves. I had this one roommate that had a little poodle that would just fucking run and launch herself at him like a missile, and he would just be like, "Oh God, are we doing this again?" But they were best friends,
Yeah.
And he would lay there while she chewed in his neck and ears until he was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Rawr, fucker."
That's Rosie. Rosie runs her favorite thing for Lily is when Lily's trying to sleep, she'll run up and grab her on the lip and stretch her lip out and just sit there and shake her head on her.
They know how annoying that
And
is.
Lily just lays there and lets her do it for okay, I can't say lets her do it. For she tolerates it for a little while, and then she kind of
They reach their limit.
bark. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is you have to let them decide. You have to let them decide their relationship. You can enforce food rules, your boss, and all that stuff, but you can't decide. You know, like my dog Pinball, the one I told you about, I could always trust him. The one thing he loved to do though, it wasn't malicious, it was for fun. He loved to terrorize cats, so he would always run up to cats and like nip at their ass and run. And yeah, he lost every time because cats always rule over dogs.
Right.
But he was sick of like cats doing that, so I remember he would always like run up and bite him in the ass and run when he was in a good mood, you know. And when he thought he could get away, and then every once in a while he'd be on a wood floor and he would spin his wheels and the cat would go, "I've got you." You're not going anywhere. But that was cute. Anyway, not vaping stuff, but you have pets, all of you.
Oh yeah,
I know it.
God, I have so many mods in front of me now. It's hard to decide what to grab.
You can't figure it out, huh?
I go to grab one. I'm like, I want this one.
My favorite mod is my Envii mod. Envii. I want everyone to have a Envii mod. Oh, by the way, I should tell everyone, just some announcements or whatever. We're going to start doing raffles on the Facebook group, Facebook.com/groups/Gypsy Jones. And when we do that, we're going to try to do a Envii mod. Going to try to do an Alpha Fox 9 Tails, which I ought to have right here in front of me. I don't know where it went.
Is that a dripper or an RTA?
Those are mods, but we could also do.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But we can also do that. We can do whatever y'all want. It's really up to y'all. It's really just an opportunity to have some fun. And the way it works is basically, we pick a device. We pick a number of spots, like 20 spots, and then we divide the price of the box and shipping, everything by the number of slots, and then y'all chime in and buy as many slots as you want, and then we do a random draw, and that number, whoever that is, it gets shipped to them. And so it's a chance to. You can spend as much as you want, and you only have a percentage chance of winning depending on how many slots you buy. So anyway, we're going to start doing, that's called a waffle. And it's because you can't use the word raffle on Facebook, so they use the word waffle. Right.
Well, I don't want anybody to enter the first one because I'm going to win the first one if it's a Envii mod.
It's good, yeah, either a Envii mod or an Alpha Fox 9 Tails. But we're going to do one. It depends on how much time it takes, to get it together.
Right.
I've only talked to Lewis one time, and he said, "Yeah, probably. Let's talk." So if you guys would like it, I'd like that. And you guys chime in. If you're in the chat, chime in. Most of the people in the replays have tuned out by the time we've reached an hour here. But I love all y'all who stuck with us here for the whole broadcast. Let's see where we have to go here pretty soon. Oh, your fur babies are so cute. Yeah, we got about 5 minutes.
I'm actually really proud of them. They're not. Of course, Rosie's in her kennel right now because she needed to take a nap. And Lily's sleeping right here by me, but they've both been actually really quiet. Normally, she's yapping at her to play, so
they're probably as happy as you are to have a little peace and quiet around the house because the family's out doing something.
Yeah, everybody's gone today.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna re-drip here for our vape out, for our goodbye vape. What do you think? I'm gonna use Van Gogh Vapes Cinnamon Churro, and they are about to redo the entire Van Gogh Vapes International Delights line. This is my favorite vape of all time, this whole line. And what makes me sad is they're getting rid of 4 of the 9 vapes. And I wouldn't be sad, but one of them is my favorite, which is Faluda, the rose cardamom vape that you guys are always hearing me talk about. They're getting rid of that. They've sworn that they'll keep a little bit of it for me, which is nice.
Nice.
I truly, truly love that stuff. But the churros, the flan, the Faluda, and I forget which other one is going to go. Oh, the taro bubble tea is moving to a different line because it's really good too, but it doesn't belong there. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the last of my cinnamon churro. All of these are the best breakfast vapes there are. They taste exactly like what they say they are. And they're from different countries.
I'm going to go and shout out Evil E Juice. They're still today probably one of my favorite companies to ever deal with, buy from. I think the owner's name is Mike. Really nice guy. I met him through actually a different chat room on YouTube. But they have a line called the Purge line. I'm sure you see me throw that up even in here. Crowbar is by far, hands down, the greatest end-all vape for me. It's a sweet tea lemonade mix, and it is hands down my favorite thing ever. But their whole Purge line. I mean, if you can't find an ADV in the Purge line, something's wrong with it.
That's how I feel about that Van Gogh International Deluxe too. Or actually, the whole Van Gogh line, because they've got like tobaccos, coffee, international breakfast line, a soda pop line, a fruit vape line, a menthol line. They literally have a line for everything, and I love that. So that's good. So that is who did you? I'm so sorry, I just got lost track. Who was it again? One more time.
Evil E Juice.
Evil E Juice. Thank you so much.
Company, yeah.
Sorry about that.
And their original line is really good too. But for me personally, it's all about their Purge line.
Word.
It's the best.
All right. Well, all of y'all are the greatest people ever. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Juicy Jones. That's your cue, Josh.
Oh, my bad. I'm Josh C _TDA.
There you go. And this has been Vaping Down at Dusk. We had a great time today. I hope all of y'all have a great day. We're going to vape out here on our delicious stuff. I found my button, and I want to thank all y'all. Thanks. Let's vape out, Josh. Thank you.